So you had a sold out show, I hear.
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. Man, we had a turnout. It was cool.
Actually, you sold 100 tickets.
No way! That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. What was that for? Come on, man. Oh, that's my money.
That's the processing fee.
Processing. Okay.
Like, yeah.
Credit card processing. No one can escape those. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's kind of annoying, but yeah. Dude, that's my money. What was that for?
Well, you promoted your event on my platform, right?
Yeah, I did. And?
Well, we have a service fee. That's our payment.
A service fee?
Cool. Congrats. We'll see you on your next event.
Howdy, I'm Joshua Sanderford. This video is intended for two specific audiences. You put on your own events, that's one group, or you facilitate lots of events for other people. In either one of these buckets, you most likely have used Eventbrite is one of the big ones. I have personally tried some other platforms like Ticket Source and SimpleTix. There's of course other ways to do events like Facebook events. I keep on running into a few key issues that I'm going to outline in this video and how I think I've found a solution that may help you. Okay, scaling fees. That's one of the big issues with Eventbrite is Eventbrite, if you're doing paid ticketing, has a platform fee on top of the processing fee from the credit cards. This is an issue because it kind of scales with your event. So the more tickets you sell, the more money you're ultimately going to be paying in those fees. We can't really escape processing fees, but we can make sure that this fee right here doesn't scale with us and it is a little bit more of a flat fee. That is very expected. So even if we sell 100 tickets, we're not going to be hit with a major bill based on the number of tickets that we're selling, but just based on access to an account. And alternatively, if you're one that facilitates these events, this is going to also help you prepare your clients for what bills they're going to be hit with so that they're not afraid of something really, really big coming to hit them and then having to increase their ticket prices in order to make it a profitable event for them. You being able to facilitate it alternatively and not have to use some of these other platforms is going to be able to increase your customer satisfaction and not have to rely on these other processing fees from other platforms. Distracting users with other events is another big one. After someone books with Eventbrite, it's always going to show other events. There's a lack of customization with some of the other platforms. This isn't the biggest deal, but it's a nice thing to have if you want to put your own branding, some of your own imagery, even include the ability to kind of custom code your background. Limited tool and marketing capabilities. This is a big one. Some of these platforms have some basic email that's integrated into it, but you really have to sign up for, with Eventbrite, an integration with MailChimp or SimpleTix has some other integrations in order to do some of the marketing outside the platform. So when you are planning for an event, you really aren't just signing up for that event platform. You have to sign up for other marketing tools and SMS tools in order to ultimately set up your event. So you don't have something that is all in one that allows you to do the email marketing, that allows you to set up some custom landing pages, that allows you to manage all of the people showing up to the event really, really well, and really post the event, because events don't necessarily end after the event. You want to be able to follow up, get some customer satisfaction, maybe even NPS surveys, or just reach out to people elsewhere and have a great platform for that. I put together a calculator to kind of look at these alternatives. So the platform GoHighLevel, I'm going to select I run my own events, and I'm going to jump down here to some of the processing fees. Now this may change over time, but as of the time of recording this, these are the fees that I'm seeing. So it's a 3.7% plus $1.79 service fee. And on top of that, you have a 2.9% payment processing on the order. Now I'm choosing Eventbrite because it's going to be one of the ones that is most popular. Know that Eventbrite is a discovery platform as well. And that's going to be one of the big defining factors in your decision-making process. If you're putting on an event where you want to control all of the marketing, like you're running paid ads or you have a Facebook account and you have your own following and you don't need to rely on discovery from Eventbrite, then this is a great solution for you. But if you do need that discovery from Eventbrite for your event, get tickets booked, it's really going to be hard to escape that aspect. It's a huge advantage to Eventbrite, and they do a very good job at it. You're going to have different experiences with that, but from the discoverability side, definitely make sure that you don't forget about that benefit to Eventbrite. Here's what it would look like. If you were selling $25 tickets, you have the $2.72 service fee, and then you have processing of 73 cents. The Eventbrite total, $3.44 effective rate that you are being charged is like 13.8%. With this alternative platform for your events, GoHighLevel plus Stripe, you actually get to keep $2.42 per ticket. Now let's scale that up to a $250 ticket. You're actually saving $10.74 per ticket. We'll do a ticket price of $50. Let's do 120 tickets per event, 2 events per month. And he's sold at the door. We're going to put 0 for now. Eventbrite does have a subscription for some of their marketing tools that you can add into it that has a $69 per month. The platform GoHighLevel for their events, they have 3 plans. It's $97, $297, $497. But for most people, $97 is going to be completely fine. I'm going to put you into 2 buckets. The primary bucket, if you're just putting on your own events, just go with the $97 a month plan. It doesn't give you any additional advantages to scale to the higher plans. The only people that would ever need the $297 or $497 plan are in the bucket 2, which are the people that are facilitating events. For those facilitating the events, you are going to be able to set up dedicated accounts for every one of your people that you put an event on for. You get to brand their own account. They get to log into their own login account. You facilitate the events inside of their sub accounts. I'll get into that for bucket 2 in just a little bit, but let's look at the pricing here. For a paid side, the fees for Eventbrite, $1,222. For GoHighLevel is $517. But you were just paying GoHighLevel $97 a month. That part doesn't really change. The part that you're actually paying is the Stripe fees. That's where the $517 comes in, is the processing fees for those tickets that you sell through your account. And so they're not charging you on a per ticket basis, which is super, super nice. It doesn't really hit you as you scale. That's a big difference in the amount of profit that you get to keep. Like a $705 difference if you were selling that many tickets to your account. If I switch this over to acting as like an agency where you are setting up all of these, then let's say you have 10 clients and your price per client, let me get back to 10. So if you did like 10 client accounts and your price per client that you are charging them, so they get a flat fee that's very, very predictable. So you charge them $97 a month to help facilitate and manage it. So this is the platform. You can brand it the way that you want to. Let's say this is Josh's events or Josh's event platform. Then they are just they're signing up for the platform at $97 a month. You get recurring revenue as the ticket management platform, as the software providing it to your clients. So that's $970 in recurring revenue that you as the event manager get to make. And then your platform cost for you, because you're signed up underneath you would have to have a $297 a month plan because that gives you unlimited sub accounts. Your gross margin is $673 a month. So you're making a profit off of having and hosting each one of your clients in there. And then they get the benefit of saving the $1,125. That's across all 10 of the clients. If each one of them were selling $50 tickets, 120 of them every single month. Now, the numbers change whenever you're doing like donation and free, because Eventbrite is $0 for some of the donations, and you have to qualify to get into that side. And even at the lowest tier, you're going to be paying $97 a month for the GoHighLevel plan. In addition to GoHighLevel platform for events, which I'll show you what that looks like, you get to choose your own processor. So you have Stripe, PayPal, Square, Authorize.net, and NMI. And then here's what the actual platform is going to give you. You got ticketed or RSVP. You have a dashboard for all of your events. You have a one page for all of your domains. And then of course the checkout for your own processor. And of course, this is what the confirmation side is going to look like on the back end. Let me show you what the event platform actually entails. And before I dive all the way into what this event looks like so that you can manage your details, your tickets, schedules, and there's even a on your phone app for checking in all the tickets. Just know that this is the view if you were to sign up as an individual, but it's also the view if you were to sign up as a kind of an agency or reseller, so in bucket 2 of event managers. But if you're in bucket 2 and you wanted to resell this platform, then at the $497 plan, you get automatic account creation. So I have a website where people would go and sign up at $127 per month for my Growth Plus plan, and that gives them a bunch of features inside of the platform. And I have 58 clients that are paying that amount, and some of them are discounted depending on when they came on in my business. And then inside of the individual sub account, which you can manage and drop down between each one of them here in the upper left hand corner, I have a bunch of different features. I have an all-in-one conversation tool, a calendar, contacts, I have payment processing, and of course the marketing tool and sites and memberships. But inside the marketing section, I have a social planner. I have the ability to launch all of my emails. SMS conversations are also built into the platform and integrated very, very well with the events section. So when I go into the event management tool, I'll look at this particular event that I already set up and kind of walk you through what it looks like. And then I'll show you what a new event also entails. In the overview, this is one that I set up as a demo, something that has already happened in the past. And this is a ticketed event, so you can also do RSVP. And I can always go in here and edit the details in post. And I can change the event details, the imagery, the summary of it, the date and time of that location. And then, of course, whether or not this is an in-person event, I can choose the organizer. And then on the right-hand side, I also get to see what this looks like from the landing page for both desktop and for mobile. In this particular case, I set up tickets as a $3 and a $10 tickets, and I can drag and drop them around and then go in and customize each of the tickets on how they kind of interact. And then if I want to change them over to free, I can also do that and change the quantity amounts. In the coupon code sections, it allows me to also put some discounts on each one of the tickets. And then underneath the schedule, I have the ability to go and view a schedule page, which I think I'll put just a little bit of information here. In person, here's the schedule. There's a snack time pre-show. Yeah, this is very, very standard. I mean, it's going to be very similar depending on each one of the event platforms you go to. So there's not a massive learning curve whenever you're setting something up here versus one of the other platforms. Underneath the pages and design, this is one of my big fixes here, which is the ability to customize. I can go and customize all of these locations and whether or not I want them to be viewed. I can choose the schedule orientation configuration there, and even check out page. If I want to customize the look and feel of that, I can go to the style and change the dark mode or light mode, or choose some of the primary colors on the page. From a registration standpoint, I can then see all of the attendees and whether or not they have booked and add any attendees to this page. And of course, whether or not you're in bucket 1 or 2, if you're in bucket 1, then you're going to need to know that you can create unlimited events. There isn't a cap on the number of events that you're setting up in this account. You'll be able to come in here and create a ticketed event as well as an RSVP event, which is incredibly helpful. If you don't need to actually sell anything, then you can do the RSVP. And then if you go the ticketed route and go through the process of setting everything up, all of your payment management gets selected at each one of the events. So if I go into this past event, I go to my settings section and I go to my payments, I can choose whether or not this is in a live mode or to also require a card for a free checkout if I have a $0 ticket. And then all of this integration is managed underneath my payments tab. And in my account, I have Stripe that is connected, but I can also do PayPal, Authorize.net, NMI, Square, and some of these others inside of the account and configure all the providers. And then I can see and manage all of my tickets, all of my orders underneath the same account. And then of course, jump into Stripe if I need to have a little bit of finer detail there. And one of the really cool things is that you actually have a full marketing all-in-one kind of business suite that also connects to the same app. So everything that you see on the desktop side is also going to show up inside of here. So if you ever need to do calendar booking, or you need to have a dialer for phone calls, or if you want to see your calendar, go to the conversations tab, you can see everything here. But as we were talking about events, if you go to the marketing and growth section, you can go to the event tab and see that there's no active events. But if I go over here to the past events, I can see this marketing meetup that we were just managing on the computer. I can search for any of my attendees by name. And then of course I can go and scan to checkout. And this will pull up a scan the QR code, because each one of these tools actually generates a QR code for each one of the events and sends it out to the individual attendees. And so this is what the actual check-in process looks like. After you scan that QR code, you get this check-in notification on the page, and then it shows you that it has succeeded and checked in, and that the payment has succeeded as well. And of course, if you accidentally scan the wrong event, it's going to show you that as well. There's a bunch of help docs for how to get this all set up. And I've got a link down below that gives you 14 days free for this account if you want to sign up that way. That also benefits me and gives me a little bit of a kickback, but it doesn't add any charges to you. But that way you can test to see if this platform really works for one of those two buckets and one of those four issues that you're running into. I hope that it does, because this was a problem that I have tried to solve for many, many years. And I think that this is a platform that is going to work very, very well. I've already tested it with a few nonprofit events, and then I have some upcoming events as well that I want to get this tested on. It also shows up inside of the mobile ticketing app as well, so they can download a QR code and have it on their phone whenever they're coming up to the door. Very easy to pull up. And then you, as the facilitator as well, will be able to have more control over seeing the total customer satisfaction that you have. Because when you relegate that access and that information to Eventbrite, you don't necessarily know where the fall off is going to be. You don't get to build workflows that this platform will allow you to do. Because one of the crazy things is there's actually a whole workflow builder on the back end underneath the events management. And you could do things like event check-in and event registration. And then what you could do with that is pop it from an event registration to tagging a note on the back end, and then do some conditional branches. So for example, if someone had been on your website in the past and then they finally go to the event registration, but then they don't necessarily show up to the event, then maybe you want to put them down a different path of emailing them and texting them, or having your team follow up with them to see why they weren't able to make it to the event. And with the Eventbrite platform, you don't necessarily get that level of customization that you do here. And as a event facilitator for multiple events and multiple businesses, you can actually snapshot this entire workflow. So whatever you build for one sub account, you get to copy it, and then you can replicate it for every one of your clients. So you can build a complete system that is resellable and easily remarketable. And that is what becomes a very valuable asset, because your workflows are yours. The way that you interact with and have systems in place to follow up with people are what are not very easily replicatable by your competition. And this is what is going to set you apart, aside from being able to compete very, very well on a price standpoint, because you don't have to charge those individual ticket fees on top of the processing fees that everyone in the event space is already dealing with. So if you'd like to get this platform, it's a 14-day free trial down below. Using that link will give me a little bit of a kickback, but it does not increase your price. Of course, you can try it out, see if it's useful to you during that free trial period. And if not, then you have plenty of other options out there. But I hope that this helps solve your issues and issues that I have run into as well. You have a blessed day, and I'll see you in this video right here, because I think YouTube is recommending it to you. But I also have a playlist of GoHighLevel over here that has a bunch of details on how the platform works. Bye-bye.